All right, welcome to Raising Funds for World Domination, Day 103. Orthoplex 64, you're always extremely fast. How do you find the stream so fast? Okay, so for the intro, there's no updates on this. Next hearing date is still the 6th. And as I mentioned last stream, for the next little while, I'm just focusing most of my attention on trying to get to the next release of the terminal block mining simulation game. So there's just a few things, well, a bunch of things I need to get done with fixing the layer merging process, making it a bit more generic. So yesterday, I completed the making it so you can have variable sized layers. And I'm almost to the point where I can start updating the test cases to support merging in multi-column characters. But tonight, I think I'm actually just going to work on simplifying some of the code. So to support some of the previous features, I had to make it more complicated. So the code is kind of hard to read and hard to maintain. So I'm going to try and work on simplifying it and refactoring it. And then inevitably, once I support multi-column characters, that's going to make it more complicated again. Woodflower Alchemist says, "What's up?" Hey Brian, do you play chess? Is that a quote from Pinky and the Brain? You never watched that show. Okay, the Discord bot sent early links on the unofficial guild. Yeah, I noticed that. So you're the since you're the only one who seems to get the early link. I figure you must have had something like that. Ugly Duckling says, hey Bobby, how's it going? Rob Ins says, hey, how's it going? Still added post 100th episode. Sorry, I missed it. Was it eventful? It was my most successful fundraising day in the last month or so. Any time of the day that the number is noteworthy. 69 was a good day, and also day 100 was a good day. Oh, Robert, good morning. How's it going? I thought people hated it. I think Bradley did. Did he hate it? You have the Discord. There is a Discord. So if you go to my official Discord is actually locked. I don't actually do stuff there, but there's a link to the unofficial one. If you go to my channel page of the list of links, there's an invite to the Discord. And if you click that link, it's actually deliberately broken. So the last character on it is a Z character. And if you take off that Z, you will get the actual link to the invite to the official Discord server. My roast says hi. How's it going? No, you're just Brain from Pinky the Brain. Do you play chess? No, I do not play chess. I tried it out when I was a kid, like once or twice. Then I came to the conclusion that to become, if I was going to try to play it seriously, I'd have to work at it to become good at it. And I have no interest in chess. First stream ever? What happens here? So in this stream, I work on my terminal-based block mining game. So I might as well show that in a sec here. 8:05. So we'll clone that and then build the latest. You're in. Excellent. Andrew Stevens says, yo. Makes the terminal go burr. Yeah, once I have my new screen layer merging code all finished. I was looking today, there's some other thing, I think, other than my screen layer merging, there's some kind of bug I'm gonna have to eventually look at. It's making it horribly slow. So like when I first load the game, the CPU is at 100% for like 10 more seconds. So I think I'm sending a bunch of messages in the background or something. Yeah, something messed up about this. I'm still using my my other merge function, which I will eventually get rid of. I asked Claude about your plans for world domination, and it said it was not serious, a form of comedic humor. Is this true? Is world dom just a joke? I don't know. AI makes mistakes sometimes. Is it possible to go to sleep in terminal? What do you mean by that? Like to call like a sleep function? Yeah, that's definitely doable. The underground city is being drawn up right now. Yeah, I have some ideas for, I should do a follow-up video of the last one, go into more detail on the plans. Yeah, AI is competing. Yeah, so someone asked about what goes on here. So I work on this video game, which is it's a terminal-based video game where you wander around and mine blocks like you see on the screen here. And currently, I'm working on trying to fix some unit tests and improve a screen layer merging algorithm that I have. Which is unfortunately becoming very complicated. But I'm going to try to refactor it and ideally simplify it. John Doe, Robert, can you give any pointers on where to start with learning ASM? What version is best to start with, etc.? Assembly language, I assume. I guess it depends on I guess a follow-up question would be like, why are you learning assembly? It does make sense to learn assembly for like if you're writing an operating system for a specific platform, specifically if you're writing like embedded system software. I would say for future-proofing ARM, I don't know, some other people might have different opinions, but I think learning ARM assembly might be better than Intel, because I think there's more of a future and there's going to be more growth for ARM devices. I think this, yeah, maybe RISC-V. I don't actually know much about RISC-V, but I think x86 is, of course, most stuff runs on x86, but like most people don't write really a lot of assembly for like desktop machines. If you find yourself needing to write assembly, you're writing it for probably an embedded device. The other aspect is, other than just learning the assembly, is if you're writing an operating system or something, understanding like some of this is more about learning the compiler rather than the assembly language, which is like learning how the compiler being able to predict what kind of instructions the compiler is going to emit and how it's going to work with the frame pointer and link pointer and or link register and all that kind of stuff. What are those smileys? So the way the game is supposed to work, it's supposed to be should I bother downloading the? Yeah, so this is actually, and maybe I'll just, I should be able to just download the the most up-to-date functional version. I was hoping to have these, this is like a regression right here. It's broken. I was hoping to have that fixed by now, but it's not. So here's the latest if you want to check it out. So here's the stable version. So this is the before I added the smiley. So in the last stable version, it doesn't have the smiley, but in the newest version, this here green block is replaced with the smiley. So the game is you wander around, you spam the M key to mine blocks, and then you can go down a level. And there's also, you can mine blocks of iron ore. And then there's also a help menu you can read. Yeah, so that's the most stable version of the game. Why are you running GNOME? Me too on GNOME Wayland. I just use it because it's default. I want to learn C++ down to the bones. I want to hack embedded devices. Yeah, I think that's. I'm not opposed to that. It's a lot of work to learn all of C++. Even learning. Actually, if you do embedded, you'll probably want to start with basic C, because I think a lot of constrained, like embedded devices, because they often will need like their own compiler. Sometimes the compiler, they'll come with a compiler that just uses C instead of like the most advanced, up-to-date C++. RMASM did crop up in the hacking of mini test devices. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to learn with embedded. I guess it depends on what specifically you want to focus on. How do I become chill like you? I guess you just have to be born that way. Bit like a deep drill. Yeah, I guess you could call it that. I have visions for the future to make it add more recipes and stuff, so you can actually craft interesting stuff. And in general, to maybe make it so the blocks can be like anything. But my development, I guess, if I'm ever going to get around to doing anything super interesting with this, I gotta speed up the development. How can I run it on an old MacBook? I'm not sure. I've never tried running this on a platform other than Ubuntu. Do you plan to make it a roguelike at the end? Actually, I forget the definition of a roguelike, but I want to probably initially focus it with like just like crafting and mining stuff in the environment, and then eventually I'd like to add multiplayer support. That's maybe one of the next major features I'd like to add, even though there's almost no gameplay content. C is the best. C isn't really used in embedded. Yeah, I haven't done a ton of embedded, but that's my perception as well. Do you have a CI/CD pipeline for your Java code? You might speed up development. I do not. I might have been put in the corner for spam. Oh, I just kind of skipped some of your messages. I didn't read them all. Did some of your messages not show up? +1 multiplayer, loot boxes, and me casino. Yep, it's on the to-do list. I show up at the right time to defend C++ again. Yep. Mainly that you handle everything yourself. I can teach you about how computer works. C is basically one level above assembly. That's true. You got an error? Huh. Interesting. All right, let's look at what I was going to work on. So I want to refactor this. So this will be kind of inefficient, but it will allow me to kind of disentangle some of these loops. C++ template errors are not fun. I agree. What's your favorite language? Java's pretty good because I know it. Go seems like a reasonable language. I haven't used it. It's too much work to learn new stuff. Please notify if there will be any play tests. I'd like to participate. I'm not sure what play tests are in the context of live streaming. I missed a semicolon. I just undid the code. I think I'm going to start with a different change first. Zig is my favorite alternative to Z. What do you like? OOP, functional programming? Generally speaking, I think they're all tools. Java is good for like large desktop applications, like large enterprise multi-user, like multi-developer projects. Python's good for prototyping. C is good for like lower level stuff that you can't use Java for, or like embedded stuff. JavaScript is for web. Purely functional programming languages, I think, are kind of optimized for like mathematical programming. So yeah, I think that in a lot of cases the choice of language is not it's not clear that there's like one language that's the best. They all have a use case. said I could go on the surface. X equals 0, y equals 0, looks like the mine. How do I get to the surface? Space bar will take you up, and the X key will go down. And actually, if you press escape, you can bring up a help menu. And you can use tab to change the selection between frames. Funny what YT is blocking for me. Yeah, it likes to block. I said purely functional equals religious fluff, and it blocked that. Interesting. Most people will not like it. Rust is close you can get to functional without losing practicality. Don't know enough about it to debate it. Switching to stone pick is way more efficient for mining. Yep. Escape gives the option to open a custom frame. I can get to so that if you want to look at the help menu, you can open custom frame and then open the help menu. That'll show you. This is some documentation about what you can do there. To get so what's your current coordinate in the game? Z is -1. So Z is the right-left dimension. You said you want to go to the surface, so y equals 0. That's like you're at ground level basically. If you want to go one level down, so down like into the mine, press the X key, and that should decrease your Y coordinate. And just the arrow keys. Arrow keys are WASD. That should move the X and Z direction. So spacebar puts Y up, and X makes it go down. Got blocked again. I think it may also have may like actually try and understand the context. Like it relates it to certain events and stuff, and I think it's also biased towards certain people, I think, and recent behavior, and who knows how it goes. What am I, Robert? Coffee for spamming chat history. Thank you very much. For that price, you can feel free to engage in your spamming when you like. All right, Radman, let's not go overboard. I think testing for blockage of about functional programming and stuff is fine. I warned you before about being a bit spammy, and it really seems like you're trying to test the limits about what you can do to catalyze conflict. Yeah, test the limits of the block mining game. See if you can get to the edge of the world. Rewrite block binding game in C? No way. And it'll have all these memory errors. It should be 0. Oh, for all the C fans? You have 6 copies of K and R C? That's a lot. I would think you would only need 2 or 3. before ANSI C. It's got to be old. Bell Labs makes us look like noobs. They also had a lot of time and funding to play around. Canada had their own Bell Labs with Northern Electric. I don't even think I've heard of them before. Very groundbreaking and fundamental for beginning of telecom era. Later became Nortel, which ended badly. Interesting. Bell Labs was so great. How many terminal block mining games do they produce? Not very many. That's how many. A lot of us C++ game devs don't go OOP anyway. And code a lot like C. What do the kids call it these days? Orthodox C++? I'm not sure if I've heard that phrase before. Orthodox C++. I have crazy high performance sailing regatta tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. Sailing regatta. I'm not sure what that is. racing the waters. Oh, like a real world, like a boat race. Interesting. Man, I'm forgetting how to do math. So when it's the left to right direction, I just want I, but when it's going the other way, it needs to start at the end and go back. I forget exactly what I was doing. My eventual goal is to kind of collapse all these loops together. So I'll probably end up allocating a bigger array, but eventually I can take these like loop bounds and maybe even move them outside of this function. And when I do that, that will allow me to calculate these bounds better. So these completely insane bounds calculations, I can replace those with less crazy ones. Oh, and I can also delete a bunch of ifs. Thanks, good block mining vibes will make me win. Yep. Yeah, I never heard of that term before. Sailing regatta. So that's like a real physical real world boat race. That's pretty cool. That means that my audience is full of high performance athletes. I like your videos, and I appreciate you sharing your knowledge. No worries. Glad you enjoy it. high performance athletes. I'm optimistic. Well, I'm not sure. Did I misunderstand? That's a physical, real world, crazy high performance sailing regatta. Regatta. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So we've got one example there. I have to assume that everyone in the chat also has their own respective high performance endurance sports that they're competing in tomorrow. Oh man. All right, let's revert that change. Make sure it still works. Thank you. Oh yeah, and I didn't respond to your question. This is Java, so it's close to Holy C, but not quite. So. What do you think about canola oil? The oil of your people. I mention it because I think they need drone pilots and telemetry for crops. Would you like? Not sure what will happen from tariffs. I'm not really sure. It's an industry I don't know much about. Drone pilots and telemetry for crops. I'm sure there's an industry for that. If farming is a highly optimized business. Played Alan Wake DLC. Is that a video game? You'll need that skill when you're up north too. For growing crops. It is a video game. also the DLC critiqued LLMs. The DLC critiqued LLMs in a very interesting way. DLC, is that an acronym for something? I don't think I've seen that before. Would you like to do it? Just wondered. So I talked to someone who lives in Canada with ADHD that did that. I like being in the wild, and surveying will be fun. Oh, you mean for drone pilot stuff? I don't think I'll get around to that anytime soon. I'll add it to the to-do list. SRAM1337 says, what should I do with my life video? Was so funny. Excellent. I'm glad you liked it. DLC? Oh, downloadable content. Okay. I've never seen that acronym before. We could tip $5 to get a mini casino DLC for a block mining game. Okay. Alright, my change didn't work. I love the stuff you do with Linux command lines. Good luck. Global warming favors your land. Yep, I gotta move early before it's before everyone's fighting over that land. Day 103. Be committed. Yeah, I think it'll take quite a few more days before I get my 12 billion. But I think I got maybe I've raised maybe $2.5 grand so far. I just need that 12 billion super chat. It'll be good. or 12 $1 billion super chats. That's true. That could also happen. Funny enough, in the time I saw your last stream, I made an AI market analytics API website with 135/100 Motorola Observatory score. I don't know what that means. API website with 135/100 Motorola Observatory score. That sounds like it's probably good. Mozilla shut down FakeSpot. I don't know what that is either. .135 is max score. Is that like a page ranking or something, or like a performance thing, or is it? It's like one of those like page speed test type things. Mozilla Observatory Site Security. Neat. FakeSpot filtered fake reviews, gave you more accurate ratings. It's amazing when used on Amazon. Yeah, I can understand why they'd have to shut that down now, because you could basically just use that to train a better fake review generator. You could just use the outputs from that and feed that into a large language model. Lack of funding. I assume also the AI apocalypse too, but also have rendered that kind of useless. Just found a metallic silver, titanium dioxide, and more iron. Nice. You're close to beating the game. I saw your how I became a dangerous video the other day. You tripper. Tripper. I've never heard someone referred to as a tripper before. Superb for so many reasons. Yeah, it was. It took a long time to make that video. I really wish I produced more, made more videos, and published more things, but I'm slow. It takes so long to do everything. Aussie lingo? Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of like details in it where, like I get into a state where I've already put so much work into something. I'm like, you know what, this part of it sucks. I should go back and like redo it. When you popped around the corner with the keyboard, yeah. I mean, like I had to actually go out at night and film that stuff. And I had to find like a dark alley and like set up my camera. And I went out super late at night, so there was no one around. In that area, it was like behind some people's houses and stuff. So I was like, I hope nobody calls the police on me. They're gonna see me, some random guy, like creeping around in the alleyway, hiding there with a keyboard, banging on it. But fortunately, no police called. And when I go out there with an actual camera, like I have to set it up on the tripod and stuff, and to get that's like a telephoto shot, so it's pretty far away. So I have to set the camera up so far away that like I almost can't even see the camera. It's so far away. I have to make sure I put it off to the side because it's like in an area where cars drive. So like if a car comes by, some random teenager comes through that alleyway at 2 a.m. and it's like, hey, I'm going to do a burnout. And they'll like drive right into the camera tripod. But fortunately it worked out. It was a creepy environment. It was right by a parking garage, and I thought I like heard a person moving around, but it was like a tarp blowing around in the parking garage. Being efficient at video production is skill. I took film classes, and they discussed production techniques to speed it up. Shoot to edit, pre-planning, labor intensive. Yeah, I know my lenses fairly well, so I have like a good idea in mind about what I want to shoot. But ultimately, when you go out and film stuff, I don't even know if I really got the take to look right. A lot of most of the lenses I use are all prime lenses, so I can't even tell if the camera's in focus or not until I actually get home and I can look at it on a bigger monitor. That clip had thousands of views when I saw it, so it performed well. Yeah, I'm hoping. Honestly, that one it only has like, I don't know, 20,000 or something views. Honestly, that's not really. I think it's made like $1 in revenue, but it's I think it's got a pretty good like general appeal. It seems that like the type of video that it'll probably just like next time my channel blows up, that one will probably perform super well. It'll probably like be that one that just kind of bubbles to the top of my channel and gets all the views. Deserves millions. I hope so. Robert, hello. Is GNOME your default development environment? Or are you in a VM? Usually I just use the default. Got pure Ponage vibes from that clip. That's good. That's the main thing that's important, is the vibes. Yeah, that video was the first one I've tested with like an actual song, because if you use a copyrighted song, like actually when I first uploaded that one, I didn't really know how the content, that was even more work. So I made the video, cut it and like synced the music and stuff, and edited it, and had some speed ramps and stuff, and it was all synced up and ready to go. So I uploaded it, and then it immediately said like, this video is blocked worldwide because of a copyright violation. So I didn't quite understand. Like I knew there were people on YouTube who had remixed that song, so I figured it was just, that was how it just had to do with shorts. But the only way to upload it with the copyrighted content is you have to upload it. You have to upload it through the YouTube app, and then you have to manually add. You have to go into the library and manually add the audio, and it only selects from a certain subset of audio in the library. And I was lucky that, and by default it selected a different minute of the song. So I thought, oh geez, maybe I can't actually. I did all this editing work. I edited to like the beat, but I was able to like get to that section of the audio, and then so I edited the video, rendered it in 4K, then I uploaded it. So I had to transfer it to my phone, upload it from my phone, because that's the only way you can get access to that content.e thing, or the like shorts copyrighted content, copyrighted audio thing. So I uploaded in 4K, it uploads the video, and then it just fails. It's like upload failed or something. And then eventually I figured out that if you cannot upload a video in 4K, it has to be 1080p, through the like YouTube app. That's the only way it'll let me do it. So I re-uploaded again, and then I found that the actual audio in the library, the only one I'm allowed to use, has it's sped up. So I had to manually like record the audio, figure out the speed up factor, which happened to be 110%, and then like re-render the video. I actually ended up rendering it, and then I rendered the whole video, and then did 110% speed up on it to re-render it, and then in 1080p, so just so it would upload, and then I could apply the audio. That's the only way to be able to use the copyrighted music. What indeed? Skibbity Toilet World says QQ. Hi. How's it going? I'm so sick of writing. Return the edited code inside of a code block in chat and nothing else. I've been trying to write reverse an array in PHP for 15 minutes now. It's just not doing it for some reason. Yep, that happens sometimes. Yeah, it is. Oh, interesting. 10 minutes, that's a lot. Beautiful work. Thank you very much. All right. Actually, seven, but fart. Yes, still a lot. If you take over the world, will tacos be legal? Yep, that will be the first thing that I will do. That'll be my first decree. I will finally legalize tacos. And then we can all have tacos. Machine Man sends $5. Thank you very much. See, that's the secret to being a good politician. You just agree with what people say and promise them whatever they ask for. And just exude confidence when doing so. And then soon you can take over the world. Oh, we got right 23 concurrent viewers. Nice. All right, program does not crash. Excellent. Let's run the test cases again to be ultra sure. You make world domination look so easy. It is. You just gotta be a pro. Now, hopefully I'm not introducing errors, new errors in the multi-column case, because this unit test so far only covers single column characters. Hi, can I get money to buy a PC, please? I was going to say no, but I guess Game Dev Chad, being a Chad, pitched in. Stock advice? Yeah, I don't know. I've no opinion either way. But if it works, you'll make a bunch, or you'll lose everything. One of those two outcomes will happen. Remix 40 says, I think I'm retarded. Why is that? $300. That's a decent chunk of change. Interesting. Looks like that caused a regression. I have nine axis Swiss lathe and a giant 5-axis mill. When you're ready, I will know and come back to random man stream. I started viewing 10 minutes ago. Good luck. Thank you. Are you planning to manufacture something with your 9-axis? That's a very large number of axes for a lathe. WKH is AMD. They're that company. Why is Haskell so hard? It has to be super general. I think that's why. Robert seems so rich. He millions of bucks. Not in terms of my bank account, but I would say that personally, I'm $1 million. It's the violet background. It might also be the camera. If you just have a decent camera, it makes you look more, I don't know, it just gives a certain vibe. Although I guess like if I had a more expensive camera lens, it would probably be, you know, like 1,000 or 2, but that one there is only like a couple $100. Now let's see if my test cases detect any regressions. No. Interesting. Purple is associated with royalty. Yeah, I think back in the day it was the most expensive dyes were purple. It's funny how that was a big deal back then, but now, you know, it's just like you just click whatever color, so it's all the same. Robert, do you make PC parts? Nope. What about royal blue? I've never really heard of royal blue until like a few months ago, when I was gonna try and buy a shirt. One of the options was royal blue. you made vid hit make a CPU. That video, so it is, I think, 14 million views now. So that video, if you want to know how much money it makes, it's approximately $1,000 per million views. Maybe just a little bit over that. So since I made it, and since it's been going viral in the last year, it's about 14,000 or something in total. But unfortunately, that video is actually my top revenue generator by far on the channel. Most of my other videos don't get that many views. So, and then rent is about $1,000 a month. So I'm not rich yet, but once I raise my $12 billion through the live streaming, I'll be rich. Robert is a purveyor of replacement laptop fans. Oh yeah, I gotta spend all my money on replacement laptop fans too. Royal Blue's history is rooted in royalty and has evolved from a color associated with French kings to a widely recognized shade, symbolizing prestige and sophistication. Initially linked to the French. Yeah, I was looking for another shirt to buy recently. I was looking for decent colors, and one of the ones I settled on was royal blue. Are you balding, Robert? Yes, I am indeed balding. Thank you for asking. It isn't balding, it's just time traveling hairline. That sounds like well, it's one way to put it. Can you make another CPU on stream? Not right now. I'm busy building some terminal block mining games. You can buy a wig when you get bald. That's true, I can. I'll buy a nice, huge wig with a big head of hair, and then I'll look like a rock star. That's a good idea. Like your fedora? Excellent. I paid, I can't remember how much I paid it. It was like the cheapest fedora I could buy on eBay that was from China. And it came in like a plastic bag. And when I first got it, it was like, there was no protection. It was kind of flattened. So I had to like prop it open and kind of stretch it to get it in the right shape. I wish I knew more than G-code, JavaScript. Your programming debugging looks less painful financially. Your programming debugging looks less painful financially. I guess, do you mean because it's just pure software and not hardware? I guess for hardware though, you can make stuff. It's hard to make money on just pure software. I think especially now that AI exists. I think there will probably be a resurgence in manufacturing and like physical raw goods. The cost of it has been like people are used to the cost of like cheap stuff going down. But I think with inflation, that's bound to come back. But it's bound to be some new economic opportunities there. I think for especially sophisticated manufacturing. Massive return in thumbnail value. Yes. Yeah, I never really thought too hard about like what clothes to buy and shirts to buy and stuff. But now I'm like, I should probably like think really hard and buy something that looks good, because I gotta look good on camera. That's my job now. Can you watch MSA on stream? I don't know what that stands for. Automation right now. The economy hurts. Hard to find good long-term jobs for the shop. And Matt's up 30% since December. Equipment cost and expertise. Yeah, I'm not sure what the future holds. I mean, it seems inevitable that eventually there will have to be some manufacturing that comes back to North America, but I don't know. We're kind of in the midst of like totally there's a huge shift in the global supply chain right now going on. MSA stand my story animated. She's a good YouTuber. Does she do animations about terminal-based video games? I do soft goods manufacturing in USA, and it's tough. That might be a skill issue. Yeah, I don't know. If it depends on. Everything's unpredictable. I don't know. I'm not sure how the tariff thing is going to play out in the long term. Like, presumably it will bring back some manufacturing, but it's going to take time. Businesses are going to take time to shift all that kind of stuff. And there's a catch-22 where like people can't, like, there's certain things where you have to buy it from China because there's no one in America makes it. I think we would also have to figure out something on like you can buy cheap. If I want to buy like a nuts or bolts or something, or a couple screws, I can buy $1 worth of screws from China and not pay anything for shipping. But if I buy it from the US, then I have to pay I have to overnight ship it, and it's like $100, and then I have to pay like customs on top of it and stuff. And so I think we'd need some kind of shift in the postal system. Either we'd have to be like, which is not desirable, but it'd have to become expensive. Like the whole Universal Postal Union thing. I think shipping is an underappreciated aspect of that kind of stuff. Of course, it matters most for low dollar amounts, but when you're like prototyping something in the early stage, that's when it's most important to be able to not waste massive amounts of money just buying a screw or a bolt. WHT, THT, I don't think do that, but she makes cool vids. Can you please watch her? Do you got a GF, or are you lonely? I'm lonely, I got no GF. That's unfortunate. You could watch that animator you talked about. That might cure your loneliness. Focus on the high dollar stuff. problem is that foreign country guys can work for $5 a day. Most small companies devalue the parts for the tariffs and try to assemble here. Yeah, I don't know what the solution is. I don't know. I mean, if we go into a world war or something, then there won't be as many shipments from China. I know the solution. What is the solution, and to which problem are you referring? Block mining terminal games. Sounds like a decent solution to me. Yeah, there's nothing in the chat that I see that I need to respond to, so let's just keep on working on the terminal block mining game. Not expected. Interesting. Did you grow that beard? Will you grow a long beard like Master Wu? You're asking if I grew my beard, what would be the alternative? Do you think it's a fake beard? It could be fake. Maybe it's an AI beard. Maybe it's just a filter. So this doesn't work. Looks like a filter. Maybe it is. I accidentally conjured a spell of gasoline spill today. Oh, that's dangerous. The edit in your How I Became Dangerous short is awesome. I like the music sync with the keyboard. Yeah, it was a lot of work. So hopefully that video gets 1 billion views someday. Do you make edit vids on phone? Not really. I'm pretty much everything. I do all the editing on desktop. Apparently when people can't siphon gasoline, they just drill a hole in the tank. Did someone drill a hole in your tank? To steal gas? Wow. That's a downfall of society level of desperation. Even if it doesn't get 1 billion views, it builds the brand. Yeah, I figured that one was like some videos that maybe don't get a lot of views, but people watch them and it lives in your brain, and you can come back to it. Do you know who Diddy is? Yes, that I've heard of that celebrity in the news. That's not a story that I particularly follow. I was like, wow, it's low. Didn't make it to the gas station. Pushed the car down the street. Oh wow, that's awful. So someone did, like a random person drilled a hole in your gas tank to steal gas? That's crazy. Hello, sir. What are you doing? I'm currently working on building a terminal-based video game where you simulate the process of finding blocks in the terminal. And then right now I'm working on building some test cases to fix the user interface rendering process. Papa Joe, I may ban you for spamming the chat if you don't improve the etiquette of your chats. Thought it was a classic fuel siphon, but nope. That's all. But that's terrible. You have to like. Now you got to repair your. Is it actually like just like a small pinhole that was drilled in? That's like when people cause like, you know, $5,000 worth of damage to steal a catalytic converter and get like $200 worth of metal out of it. Man, that's awful. You must live in a high crime area. California. Gated community. Wow. Yeah, the world is I mean, that's an interesting question to pose to the chat. It kind of, when I look at the news and like the stuff that comes up my YouTube recommended feed, it seems like the world is collapsing right now. I don't know if you guys see anything different. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. Job interview was a total scam. Oh, so, well, like the job was a scam, or the some weird commission-based pyramid scheme. Oh, that sucks. It sounded like you mentioned it was like a real sales job before. That's too bad. Yeah, I see that, but when I go outside, it hasn't collapsed yet. Yeah, society still is it's going along, but it seems like there's a lot of I don't know, there's like the institutions are not working the way they used to. always either at home or at Costco. Can't tell if the world is really collapsing either. I mean, there's tons of specific individual things that you can find online that suggest it's collapsing. But then you go outside and it seems okay. But then there's other stuff like that, like Bradley's story about having holes drilled in your gas tank. And then I walk down the street and there's like crazy people yelling at the sky. And I think the technocrats are to blame. They probably are. Job posting was under false pretense, and so was initial set of calls. Incorrect pay amount and method. I asked if it was W-2. Yeah, that sucks. I mean, that is also another data point about the world collapsing. It's like getting a job. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be like a mental minefield of like trying to evade scams. Okay. I think just the prospect that the current generations have in which their future is dimmer than the parents is not a great sign. Yeah, I mean, the other, like, it's also not even great for a lot of elderly people. I think like elderly people are the fastest growing group of people that are going homeless. Most Californians won't go anywhere near the county lines I live in. It's too bad. I just focus on creating useless tech projects to distract myself. Yep, just pretty soon we're all gonna have to hunker down and live under. We can just live under a bridge and write open source software. Terry A. Davis lifestyle. Yep, that's our future. Everyone who get a computer science degree, we're all going to be like, we could have special homeless encampments for software developers. What tech stocks should I watch? I don't know. I'm sure there's people in the comments that know about that though. Temple OS, that's a good stock to buy. Digital nomad camps, is that a thing yet? I know that's a thing in like China. There's a lot of these groups of like homeless young people that live stream all night. Man, I thought I had it. Make 7 is 35% of S&P 500. I've also heard that apparently there's I guess a theoretical risk in the S&P because people are investing too much in index funds. So it's basically making like all the returns correlated, and then if they ever start to sell off, then it could be a cascading issue. Chip tariff announcement coming in a week. Nice. That should increase the value of my chips. I can get rid of this. Or maybe not. The fundamentals are terrible for tech right now. Everyone making dumb investments and losing money. It's hard to make money in the stock market. That's why I don't even really think about it much anymore. I guess I don't even have money to invest. This should work. Can society make a trademark? Z for charity. A trademark? I don't know. I don't think that would really help him very much. Someone could file a trademark. But trademarks cannot be. You can't use. There are restrictions on trademarks. You can't use a person's natural name as a trademark. I want society to somehow collectively swap Mark said with Terry Davis. That would make the world interesting. If Terry Davis was still with us and then he was replaced and then it was announced that Mark Zuckerberg was stepping down from Facebook and Terry Davis was going to be the new CEO of Facebook. That would be interesting. I hereby trademark Robert Eldercoin. Nope, there's none of that. I'm so close to collapsing this whole thing into one loop. You know what? This should go here. That makes sense, I guess. This will be kind of a crazy conditional, but it might work. I will change that later if it works. Nope. Does not work. Index -1 out of bounds. That might depend on direction too. Maybe that will work. Almost, but not quite. Well, I made a bit of progress in refactoring that tonight. I guess I will pick this up again tomorrow night for day 104. All right. Have a good night, guys.